What's up, guys? Jacob here. It's already been a day after being in Cancun at the MASTERMIND. Back here in the San Francisco Bay Area, it is 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm just now getting started with doing my day job with direct sales for a software company here based out of San Francisco. The fact that it's 1 o'clock and I'm just now getting to the field kind of tells you like the degree of commitment I have with working a day job right now. So, gonna get straight to the point. Is Kindle publishing your way out of a day job? Are you wanting to quit your 9 to 5, your weekday grind where you probably wake up 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, groaning out of bed, wondering when the fuck this will ever end, going on your shitty 1 hour commute one way to a job that you might not hate, might not even like, but you're just tired of that grind, and maybe you know you have more potential in you, or you want to seek a lifestyle that's just more than the status quo, or hey, maybe you're a single mom out there who just wants to have some more freedom to not only have more earnings come in, but maybe one day not need a job and spend more time with your family, more time with your children. You know, you don't have to hate your situation to want to quit your job by any means. I certainly don't. Where I am with Kindle publishing, I am literally just waiting for one more royalty check to come in later this month from my August earnings, and once I confirm receiving that, collect a couple other paychecks from my day job, I'm ready to go. So I feel like I'm qualified to talk about this. Is Kindle publishing the way out of your job? Is it possible to quit your job with Kindle publishing? Yeah, absolutely. You could definitely get to a threshold to where you're making, you know, depending on where you live and what your cost of living is. I was rooming with Gerald from, you know, originally The Blueprint, and he's now my student in my course. He was living in Peru, was able to quit his job with making as little as $2,000 a month, and you know, actually ended up moving to New Jersey, got his green card, grinding out there. You know, for some of us, $2,000 a month was enough to quit our job. For others like me, we need substantially more with the cost of living that we're based out of. But is it possible? Yes. Is it possible for those of you watching to make it an actual reality? Like, do I think you're able to do it? To be real, for 95% of you watching, the answer is no. Why the answer is no? If you're watching this, you're probably starting out. You're doing Kindle publishing. You're publishing maybe 1 book a month, maybe even 2 books a month. Or you could be the one who's been watching a lot of videos, maybe even taking a couple courses, and you're paralyzed by analysis. And you've just now started putting out 1 book after 3 months of following a course. Starting out, is putting out a book every month, you know, acceptable for momentum? Yes. Starting out, 1 book per month is acceptable. Especially as you're making mistakes and, you know, getting the mechanics of how this all works. Of course, you want to start out a little bit slow. Now, me, with my situation, I was a little bit unique. With my 4th or 5th book, I really hit it big, and it didn't take me much long at all. After, you know, paying for the blueprint, following all of the steps, following the mindset process taught, I went from making, what was it, like $400 a month in May to I gotta watch my language, to almost fucking almost $2,000 in the month of July. Like, it was crazy. So it didn't take me a lot. I wasn't forced to really up and crank my production up. But for newer students or newer people into publishing, I'd say what I'm getting into is that you can't expect to achieve great results publishing 1 or 2 books a month. We can't have a lack of momentum going to what it takes to be making, over $2,000 a month, over $4,000 a month. I mean, unless you want to do it slowly, like, that's acceptable too. If you're like just doing this for extra income, you're not the so-called desperate type that wants to leave their job ASAP. Like, that's cool, that's chill. But if you want to like quit your job now or quit by the end of the year, I mean, unless you're like following my course and like using my keywords, you're not gonna fucking do it that quick, because you need to have it. It's a numbers game. You're gonna need a certain amount of books to sustain a certain amount of income. And unless you're like me that can make, I'm not trying to be a fucking dick, but unless you're able to like get somewhat lucky, I guess I should say, and have a book that makes $3,000 every month for you or whatever, like, it's not gonna happen with just one book a month, man. So you need to be able to build momentum with producing books. That also includes having the capital, having the monetary expenditure needed to make that happen. So, I mean, is it possible to succeed in Kindle publishing starting out with nothing? Yes, technically I did it. But at some point, I had to also pony up the profits that I made and reinvest pretty much all of them back into the business. So, I mean, if you're shedding your pants, spending $1,000 a month on new books, like, that's not the mindset. Like, having the fear of spending money to achieve earning $4,000 a month, that's not gonna be conducive towards success. So it takes money to earn money. That's the reality of it. Also, is it even right for you to really leave your job for Kindle publishing? What's your real motive? Like, you gotta factor too, like, what are you gonna do with your time after you quit your job? That's something that I'm dealing with. Like, what am I gonna do with my time? So the answer always is, you want to focus your time on income producing activities. Are you going to quit your job just so that you can, smoke off your vape pen with some good CBD and play League of Legends all day? Like, that's chill, but is that really productive towards making income? No. Like, so is that really is it a must that you quit your job just so you can do that? No. I mean, you're going to have to fall back towards making money somehow. So, I mean, this is probably abstract to some of you listening, but it's something that I'm thinking in my head. Like, what exactly am I going to do with the time that I'll have freed up to grow my business, to not only grow my publishing, but my course and future ventures I've gotten ahead? Like, what am I really going to do with that time? Because until I can fill up that time, fuck, maybe I'm just better off working a job, right? So that's something to think about there. A lot of things I see too with newer publishers about why they can't succeed or won't succeed. It's all got to do with mindset. Like I said, analysis by paralysis. The kind of student I loathe most is the one that's bought all the courses, knows every single technique, like knows all the terminology, but hasn't published a book in 6 months, or has only published 2 books this year, starting from scratch. Like, that's not acceptable. Information is great, but unless you apply it, it's all bullshit. It's not going to do you anything. Attending a mastermind, but you haven't published a single book after having the blueprint for a year, not ideal. Now, if you've just started with, making money online, and you attend a mastermind like that to forge relationships, get the shortcuts towards like learning what it really takes to succeed, that's totally cool. And I condone that. I encourage that. That's good. But now, after attending the mastermind, what are you going to do? Are you going to just sit on all the great experience you had in Cancun, not do anything with what you learned? Or are you actually going to take action, spend the money that it takes to publish books, invest the time and effort that it takes to execute, and be able to quit your job by the end of the year? That's what it takes. One student that I'm proud of in particular is a woman named Allison, who I took up for coaching. Single mom, based out of New York. Not really technical with, computers and such, but, with some guidance. I'm not going to take all the credit for it because she did all the work. But with guidance, her first book, right off the bat, is doing really well. On ebook, on paperback, and once it gets done with audio, that's going to be killer for her. Like, I'm proud to say that I have a student who, again, I just gave direction and guidance. She did all the work herself. But just to see that with proper guidance, you can succeed right off the bat and maybe make $500 a month off of your first book ever with Kindle publishing. All we have to do is, multiply that by a factor of 10 with more books, and we'll get to her target so that she can quit her job, have more time with her kid, homeschool her full time. That's her ideal lifestyle. We all have our own ideal lifestyles. Hers is that. It's pretty simple. Mine is having a pimped out pad in Las Vegas with a 3-bedroom condo with myself living it in the middle of the fucking strip. But we all have our own goals, and we got to respect that, right? So yeah, momentum, consistency, commitment, seriousness, and focusing on spending time that makes you money, focusing on money-making activities, whether it's before leaving your job, how you spend your weekends. Your weekends are absolutely crucial. The time you spend after your job, and at my level, the one who's about to quit their job, how I'm going to spend time after I quit my job to further my business with publishing, with my course, all that good stuff. So, hey, it's a ramble, but if you're the one who wants to quit their 9 to 5, maybe you're doing well with your corporate white-collar job, but you can do better. That's me too. Fuck, I'm not even wearing a proper attire for my sales calls. I'm wearing a polo fucking t-shirt. It doesn't even have a collar, but it's Gucci, so I guess it passes, right? But yeah, we'll be talking more. And I will have keyword research lessons for y'all soon, but sometimes having a car video, as generic as it seems, might be what you need at this point of your life right now. So stay tuned.